I'm going to be living in the most luxurious airport in the world for the next 50 hours. Changi Airport. And if you're wondering why, let me explain. This place has a cinema theatre, gardens, museums, a pool resort, a robot barista, and the list goes on. And as a way to explore this airport for the beauty it is, I've created several side missions that we must complete before leaving the airport. Will I survive? Let's find out. Although this had become my newfound place of residence, there was just one problem. The law states that I can't be in the airport for more than 24 hours. And to make things worse, there were security officers and CCTV cameras everywhere I looked, and it was stressing me out, but I needed to stay calm. To optimize myself for maximum rates of survival, I needed to think and act like the average person, an NPC. So I observed other individuals and tried to blend in. I started by appreciating some vintage Louis Vuitton pieces at the museum, stopped off to the cinema to watch Avatar, and then decided to hold hands with Mother Nature while appreciating all the greenery this airport had to offer. As I was finishing up with the gardens, I noticed something. So many butterflies. But that's not what really caught my eye. It appears as though they were indulging in some succulent pieces of pineapple. Seeing these butterflies indulging in these exotic pieces of fruit started to make me hungry. And what better way to immerse myself in Singaporean culture than to try their national dish? After asking around, I managed to finally find a place that served Hainanese chicken rice. It's a beautiful dish that consists of gelatinous, juicy pieces of chicken served with fragrant rice, a hearty broth and sautéed vegetables. But unfortunately, this place did not do the dish justice. Although the flavours worked very well together, the rice was unfortunately undercooked. However, this was the least of my worries right now. I had bigger problems to worry about. Where do I sleep? I spent hours walking around the airport trying to figure out a strategic location that can maximise my sleep quality. Everywhere was lit up with bright lights, and the only place that seemed to make any logical sense was the cinema room. Complete darkness and minimal rate of suspicion, seeing as movies were being played 24/7. Sleep was terrible. I was in pain from the constant force that was exerted onto the surface area of my body by the concrete floor, and reality kind of started to set in. I started to realise that I'd taken things such as a mattress and a warm shower for granted, and I felt somewhat deserving of this punishment, seeing as I've been so oblivious to appreciating the simple luxuries in life. The only thing I wanted to do in this moment was to fill that empty void I had in my heart with calories. It was time to eat, and from walking around the airport so much, I noticed that it was scattered with several food and drink vending machines. So I decided to try out the machines that intrigued me. Welcome to my food review channel. We're gonna start with little Chocky Pocky. This somehow tasted like chocolate mixed with cheese flavoured crackers, and it was a combination of flavours that didn't really seem to work well together. But the more you ate it, the less you somehow despised it. A few bites in and I was already forming an addiction to it. The salmon and rice was something I didn't really have high expectations for. It lacked visual substance, but after a bite, I was left feeling moderately satisfied. And seeing as I had such low expectations, I had mentally already prepared myself for disappointment. It tasted like a higher end microwavable meal, and to wash it down, we had the orange juice, which was an explosion of freshness that left a naturally sweet aftertaste with every sip. Next up, Lay's Classic. It tastes exactly how it looks like. I don't think there's a need for an in-depth description for this one. I was doing some further research on vending machines, and then I stumbled on this. A robot barista vending machine. And it was only right that we experienced this together. I'm not someone who typically drinks coffee, so this is going to be my unfiltered, honest opinion on how it tastes. After a sip, I realised that robots are not ready to take over humanity just as of yet. This kind of brought me a sense of relief, knowing that we have a few more years left until we get to a stage where humans are made irrelevant. Unfortunately, the vending machines lacked the comfort and warmth that I was craving. I needed something more than just the cold touch of a robot barista, something that could bring me back to myself, and there it was, right in front of me. A rooftop pool in the middle of the airport. And you know what the best part was? They had warm showers. Having gone through the discomfort of sleeping on the floor, I was actually able to appreciate this experience so much more than I could have ever imagined. I actually took the time to be as present as I could, and I was actually taking in every moment around me and savouring the experience so I could truly live in the moment.
I'm feeling a bit weird about sleeping. That's the only thing. Like, I don't want to go to sleep because that's the worst part of this. That's when it turns to hell. It's like a give and take. You can't have everything. And this is a perfect example of that.
After that immense high, I was greeted with reality once again. The dreaded human necessity of sleep. After waking up with all vital organs intact, I started to notice myself becoming a lot more resilient to sleeping on the floor. I woke up with feelings of relief, gratitude and peace, knowing this was the last time I would have to sleep like this here. But I felt accomplished in a very strange way, knowing that this experience had left me feeling less blinded to the simple comforts in life. The challenge was coming to an end, and I wanted to use the last few moments of my time here to explore the landside part of the airport. When I came into this challenge, I had one superficial goal in my mind, and that was to literally survive 50 hours. But walking through this airport, surrounded by beautiful waterfalls and Mother Nature, I noticed that my perception on appreciating beauty had become heightened. Being able to walk around and enjoy my environment like this felt so rewarding, but I wouldn't have appreciated it anywhere near as much if I didn't endure the discomfort of sleeping on the floor with Avatar blasting at maximum volume in my ears all night. This experience taught me that in life, we need both highs and lows. The lows shape our ability to truly appreciate the highs, and in the end, it's the contrast between the two that makes the comforts of life so much better. Thank you, Singapore, for allowing me to experience this beautiful piece of infrastructure, and I look forward to seeing you again.